welcome back to my home in Newport Beach, California. Come on in and see what I've done this year for Halloween. So as you can see, we have just a few Halloween greeters by the front door. Come on in. Our first stop is the formal entry, and in this space, I wanted it to announce the holiday in a more elegant, dramatic way. As you can see, I've used a lot of candles, including my favorite spooky pillar candles. At the back is my wired tree with little paper lanterns and eerie ornaments. To mix things up this year, I added a few playful touches, like my silly skeletons and a wine bucket repurposed as a vase. After 30 years, I have lots of Halloween decorations, but I always find a few special new things to add to the mix. This year, I added a faux orchid that has eyes to really creep us out, and another addition this year is these oversized cloches filled with branches, twinkle lights, and a few sneaky critters that are actually very easy to make, and in another episode, I'll show you just how to put your own together. So our formal dining room seemed to be the perfect setting for our spooky Halloween dinner party because of its antique chandelier and antique candelabras and vintage books. So it set the perfect backdrop for my spooky dinner setting. So the starting point and the inspiration here was snakes. So I've got different snakes all around the table crawling around. I've got little gold guys, and then I've got guys that are all the way like crawling through my floral arrangements, which makes them super creepy, I think. In addition, we've got candles everywhere, and obviously our witches' cauldrons throughout, adding a whole lot of atmosphere and spookiness to our table setting. Our table dinnerware is kind of normal dinnerware with little spider plates on top. We've got napkins tied with velvet ribbon, and of course we've got little tombstone markers at each place setting, and poison boxes in our candles and poison candy boxes at each place setting. The last little detail that I'd like to share with you is that each place setting also has a coffin marked with the individual guest's initials on it, and inside the little coffin are eyeballs and a little skull, and of course a note that says why I'm so happy that the person is alive and here at our dinner party. So as we head into the kitchen and the family private areas of the house, we've got our center table set up to announce that it's Halloween, of course, but I also needed to make it a little bit simpler this year because I'm hoping you all come back for Thanksgiving. So it's just a few weeks and we're going to need to change this out. And so we needed to keep it a little bit simpler this year. So we started with our faux bois vase or planter here, and with our tree branches, which are all decorated for Halloween, but then you'll see it as it transitions into later in the fall and transitions to Thanksgiving. So in this case, we started with our branches and we wanted to do something a little bit different this year. And so we've got owls kind of flying about our space in several locations, and then as well on our branches. So we've got our little accordion bats, and then we've got our little replicas of vintage candy holders that are also bats in several places. And then of course, lots of little vintage paper craft or reproduction paper crafts. Some are by one of our favorites, Bethany Lowe, who makes these little lovely, delicate items that are scattered about. We've got little spiders on glistening webs, and then of course a lot of little felt felt ghosts flying about. So all kind of fun and various Halloween ornaments in our branches. And this is an easy thing that we've just assembled from branches and put in a pot. So it's something that is quite simple that anyone can do and decorate almost like it's a tree. So beyond our centerpiece, we've got the rest of the space filled with real pumpkins. And these you'll also see transition into Thanksgiving, and as well as fresh flowers and, of course, candles throughout, all announcing it's Halloween and we are ready to have a party. Since we'll be back in just a couple weeks for Thanksgiving, I wanted to keep things simple this year. So I started with a very simple black and brown palette, and in this case used one vintage cologne jar, and the rest are all reproductions. And then we filled them with a variety of dried material in browns and blacks and metallics. And to add our Halloween festivity, we've got our flying bats, wicker bats up above. For our kitchen and dining space, we started with these ghostly plates as our inspiration. As a designer, I always recommend beginning with one or two pieces that set the tone for the rest of your table decor plan. In this case, we took it a step further with a fun twist. Instead of using a traditional tablecloth, I rolled a glittery wrapping paper down the center of the table as a runner. For the centerpiece, I wanted something with a little more drama, so I spray painted gray plastic candelabras black to give them depth and weight. Once again, I added a variety of flowers, including zinnias, tucked into small candle holders for a whimsical touch of color. And of course, no table of mine is complete without a few playful details. We have glittery treat bags and tiny, scary cat baskets from one of my favorite brands, Bethany Lowe. So as you can see, we are all set for a haunted yet charming Halloween table, complete with a little magic and plenty of flying bats. As you can see, in this part of the kitchen, we tried to keep things very simple. We wanted things to feel nice and light and bright, and so I removed my floral slipcovers and some of my floral pillows so that I basically had a white blank palette and was able to add these accents of orange and white, making it feel just like Halloween. On either end, I've got my little hat boxes that were handmade by Rick Connect, and they're just sort of super fun and silly faces of pumpkins on one side, and then on the other side, they're little upright pumpkin faces or skeleton faces. So these are things that I've collected that are handmade and I've collected over the last 20 years, and they just bring me such joy every year when I bring them out. Our outside cabana is set up for a girls' Halloween party. So as you can see, I started with this fun Halloween print, and this is actually a bed sheet that I used, and it's placed upon a second bed sheet. This is one of my little design tricks when I can't find just the right tablecloth. So this set the scene for our girly feminine party. And in addition, I did a chandelier with a skirt that is extra feminine and a paper chain made of all the different sort of patterns and prints that might work with our orange and pink ensemble here. For our table setting, I used my regular Hudson Grace dinnerware and added just a fun little accent plate that made things look more Halloweenish around the table. For our centerpiece, we've got different dahlias and mums and a mixture of fun colors that work with our color palette. And I added pennants to the flowers as well as to our cake to make them feel especially celebratory. And then, of course, I always have my table topped with treats. So I've got my little witch shoes filled with all kinds of little chocolates. To make sure that my friends all had a place to park their brooms when they came to visit, I moved my hall tree right here to the entry of the cabana, so everyone would be set to place their brooms. Thanks for visiting, and I hope to see you on the next holiday.